Did you know that women and people of color make up the majority of the Trump coalition?
So, for those of you who are unfamiliar with, there was a article written by, I believe, Matt Brunig, who was basically it was trying to frame the argument around the fact that Trump supporters, because people talk about Trump supporters like hell. We just talked about can we hate Trump supporters literally this episode. So what happened was he made the argument that like the way people talk about this or whatever, the fact is that most of Trump's supporters are women and people of color. So how can you say that? And so everyone lost their shit when they're like, how dare you, right? But there's an extra layer to it, because besides the how dare you, because some people were just like, no, that's bullshit, that's bullshit, that's bullshit. And in the end, it's not quite bullshit. It's the way the way you read the statistics. And we've talked about how stats and studies can be manipulated in the past. But in this situation, it's literally pointing out, like, what they did was they took out all white men, right? And so that was at 45% or something like that, 45 or 46%, Dara. And then everyone else was grouped together. So that's women and people of color. So women and black women are grouped up in that, even though black women were like 6% for Trump. Black men, I think, were at 13%, but they both are part of the overall electorate. They were 5% and 7%, and this was on not overall electorate. This was from an exit poll that they were using.
Black women were 4% for Trump.
Oh yeah, right. Because your 2% was other. Mm-hmm. Right. Sorry, you're right. And so the idea is so they were basically using all that, but they in skewing it and framing this thing. It's like, see, so you're talking about, but the left is talking about Trump supporters, but like they would they say that about women and people of color? And of course not. It was like, well, first of all, why don't you redo that math? Because wasn't it like how many didn't more than half of white women go for Trump?
Yes.
So if more than half of white women went for Trump, so you can't really quite say women. And then when you say women and people of color, you're not looking at the cross section of, I know, and Dara, I'm about to say some shit you aren't prepared for. Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this?
Go ahead.
You can be black and a woman.
I'm sorry. I think you're mistaken.
Dara, I know that this, like, I say a lot of shit,
yeah,
a lot of hyperbole on the show here or whatever, but so like I can see why you might think that, like, that's not, I'm not being really real with you right now, Dara, but the fact is you can be black, Dara, and a woman. A woman.
No.
A woman.
That doesn't feel right, because then if that's the case, then this entire article is using black women as a cover